Quite a valuable lesson back then is if you don't have bucks, it actually means you're operating.
Yeah. Well, and that's the reality of it, right? And that can cause cash flow challenges as well. Some business owner might see it as, where's the money? But it's tied up in contracts, it's tied up in an order book or whatever the case might be. So there is revenue coming.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily then a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So you
Causes stress.
Trust me, bills need to be paid, right?
Yeah.
And we are back with another, and I always say this, another exciting episode of Unfiltered AF. And I'm truly excited about this one because we've been trying hard for a couple of months to get Mark and Josh. And Mark and Josh, Mark Armstrong, Josh Trocinski, founding members of Mineral Innovative Technologies, in short, the MIT group as it's known in South Africa and across the globe. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good having you.
You had to twist a few arms to get us here, but I'm glad you have.
Mark, where do we start? 10 years, 11 years ago, you decided...
15 years ago.
15 years ago, the two of you decided you want to start a business. Take on this journey.
Look, I think most people leave a job because of the people they work for. So I think that's kind of where we were at. We just weren't enjoying the space. Not in a cocky way, but felt like we could do a better job. And it was on a trip to Zambia where we made the call that we're going to do this.
Okay.
Here we sit,
Yeah, over a beer is all good to start. All best discussions go.
Yes, and all success stories are either written on a handkerchief and over a pint of beer, right?
We're still looking for the success, but we'll get there.
Well, from my observation, I think even if our viewers had to view what MIT is today, I think it's a success story, and obviously a success story busy in the making still. You've got global reach, you've got Kazakhstan, you've got a branch there, you've got a branch in Australia. Obviously, your main operation is South Africa, but the reality is you've got a global footprint. And you've got a dedicated team. So take us on this journey. How did you then start MIT out of employment into, okay, how do we start this? Did you have funding? Did you self-fund it? What did that look like?
Yeah, in the beginning, Mark and I had these great ideas and we put a business plan together. We were going to go to the bank. And I'm so glad we didn't. But what happened was Mark's uncle, Neil, but no, you were discussing it over a bra?
Yeah, no, I picked him up at the airport. He lives in Australia.
Okay.
Farms here, so did regular trips in and out the country. So I picked him up from the airport just after that Zambia trip we mentioned, and just said to him, this is what, just as not sort of looking for him to put his hand up, but just saying, look, this is what Josh and I really want to do. We're not happy. We feel there's a gap. We feel we can really take this chance. And without even thinking, he said, I'll fund you.
Okay.
So I had to pinch myself and then calmly got home and dropped him off and then phoned Josh and said, cool, we got the funding, let's do this.
Okay.
Mark phoned me on a Sunday morning and said, Neil's interested. And I was like, what? I think I had probably 3 hours sleep. I was at another party the night before. Quickly freshened up and went across to Mark's house and had the conversation with Neil. I wish we had a recording of that because I think it was so basic.
Yeah. He said, can you do a business plan? And okay, what is that?
Yeah, we did have some stuff that we were going to present to the banks, but I think it was just easier because we were dealing with Neil, to present the pitch the plan.
And I think, just in the growth of the business, I think, it can't be, his role can't be underestimated. He's a silent partner, very silent. I think we see him once a year. Josh calls him Jason Bourne because he's in and out the country so often.
Jason Bourne and Mr. Banks.
But I think you want this to be an encouraging sort of vidcast, as you call it. And I think, Neil always said to us, when I'd phone him, have you got bucks? And I'm like, no. He said, that's good. Because if you have bucks, it means you haven't got orders. If you don't have bucks, it means you spent the money on generating income. So I think that was
not flashy toys.
Yeah, quite a valuable lesson back then is if you don't have bucks, it actually means you're operating.
Yeah. Well, and that's the reality of it, right? And that can cause cash flow challenges as well. Some business owner might see it as, where's the money? But it's tied up in contracts, it's tied up in an order book or whatever the case might be. So there is revenue coming.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily then a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So you
Causes stress.
no, listen,
Trust me, it
bills
causes
need
stress.
to be paid, right?
Yeah.
So, a lot of our guests on the show also say that they started their business with no capital. So, and that can be relevant for service-based businesses and so forth, where limited capital, you can start it up and so forth. But this is a different animal, right? So you had to, because you're servicing the mining industry and other relevant industries as well. So equipment comes at a price, doesn't it?
It does. And when you're starting off a business and you don't have a name behind yourself, and the mines will pay you, if you're lucky, 30, 60, 90 days, that sort of thing. Yes, you got to fund it. And
Also, we had no VAT number.
So
mines, to twist the arm to get the guy to place the order with you, knowing that you're not VAT registered, also took some skill.
it took some time, and yes, we needed funding to. Firstly, we had to pay cash for stuff right at the beginning, so you can build up some kind of credit reference with the supplier, and then wait.
We had
60 days for the Anglo Americans of this world to pay you, and they couldn't care what your cash flow looks like.
Exactly.
We had to drive the country flat. Mark and I, one's driving, one's on the laptop, swap. Just we
Work
must
until the
have
laptop
driven.
battery goes dead, and then swap.
We must have driven for about 9 months flat from all the various areas that mining's happening in the country.
So we hear a lot about people in employment, individuals in employment who says they want to start their own business. It sounds like a dream. It sounds like freedom. It sounds like this is my opportunity to make a lot of money, and I'm going to have more time with my family, and all these beautiful stories and this dream. Now, how true is that? Is it realistic? Is it unrealistic from your point of view?
I think it's realistic, but after some time.
Yeah. It's in the beginning, you're giving it your all. Obviously, there is time for family, always, but it's grit. Yeah, you just got to grit through it.
I was thinking about it this morning, because I was expecting a sort of question like that. I think it's something that you work for as a business owner. You can't expect to start the business and then go, all right, well, I'm going to work half day, and I'm going to, what you put in, you get out. And I think that's the bottom line. And you work to a point where you can have a bit more freedom. And I think it's taken us 15 years now to a point where we can have a little bit of freedom. And I think because we, like a hell of a good team, I can go away for 2 weeks and I don't have to worry. I don't have to be there, and I think that's what's taken the time, and that's the real blessing now of the business.
Yeah, but ultimately the buck stops with you. Still, yes, you've built a team. Your team supports the vision of the business. It supports sales. It supports the functioning of the business. At the end of the day, but the buck stops with the two of you. So you're never going to be able to remove that level of stress of, well, you guys need to sign the checks. You need to sort out challenges when there are challenges, because everybody's looking at you to solve it. Yeah. Isn't that true?
Yeah. No, definitely. I think we've mentioned in the past, if a business goes under, the employees don't get another job. We're living with our parents. That's the case. I'm a little old to live with my mom and dad, but but you're right. The buck does stop with the owners, and if things go south, then that's on us.
Which is not the case. It's not happening.
Yeah.
But there's always that risk, and I think walking into business, you need to have a set of proper ones to be able to endure this. Like you said, driving for months at end, going to orders, going to clients, looking for orders, and so forth. Does that take a special type of individual?
Yeah, definitely. Mark and I started in his garage at home. We were packing buckets and plastic bags and bottles and whatever we could just get an order for. That didn't deter us in any way. If I remember, the one order Mark and I got was like 7 tons of plastic bags. It was a lot. So we had to collect it, check it, pack it onto a trailer, rented the trailer. We didn't think, okay, it wasn't 7 tons, I'm over exaggerating, but it was quite a lot. And then we packed the trailer, and early morning, the next morning, leave early to get to Rustenburg. We couldn't get it out the driveway. It was too heavy.
Yeah.
The bakkie which Mark had at that stage just didn't have the power. So then we had to offload the whole trailer, well, the content of it to eventually get it out his property and then reload it. And I think it took us about 4 hours. I mean, Rustenburg's a 2-hour drive max. I think it took us like 4.5 hours to get there.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a unique grit. It's a very specific mindset also to go through those things. But quickly tell us, you've got a global presence. And how did that happen? How did that start?
I think Australia was obviously Australia was the first one.
I think prior to that, to be able to supply to the local industry was great, but to start to get the taste and then the hunger for more of export is, I think, where that like birth child was. So one of our first exports was to Mauritania, which was
Finland as well. Yeah.
Katowice in Finland. Yeah, and then it because we kind of found that if you give great service to, and a lot of the times we were dealing with expats from South Africa, they get a contract in Mauritania or Serbia or wherever it is. You give them great service, they're going to take you on their journey. So they then go to Bolivia, Peru, and stuff like that. Yeah. And
that is how Kazakhstan and Australia was birthed.
Well, yeah, I guess then Australia, I mean, that's a massive mining marketplace, if we can call it that. You've done quite a few trips across there.
Yeah, I think Australia was we have favourable conditions here for manufacturing. Obviously, we have cheaper labour than Australia does. So just on a couple of trips there, I realised quite early on that we can manufacture items here, ship them across the world, pay the duties, and still come in at 60% of what the Australian market is paying for the same product. So yeah, we saw the opportunity. I think we opened the business in 2015. And then it was a long period of really looking for the right product. It's one thing having a business and having a market, but what is the right product for that market, and what makes sense to ship across the world to a market. So it's taken us some time, and I think now, I would say in the last 6 months to a year, it's really started to pay off. So it's been a long haul. It's been 10 years. No, not quite. It's been about 8 years of getting that business going to a point where now we're actually starting to do something.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So time and patience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then Kazakhstan was Josh's harebrained idea. I first had to Google where Kazakhstan was at the time. I think Josh saw that opportunity, and again, being partners that trust each other, business partners that trust each other, we jumped on a plane, and I sort of took his lead, and glad I did, because that's also really starting to bear some fruit now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, prior to Kazakhstan, Mark was at a lab show in Dubai called Arab Lab, and while he was there, I was Googling and everything, came across this website and dived more into it, and it was a producer of the line of kit that we do in St. Petersburg, Russia. Contacted Mark, I said, "You're not flying back tomorrow, you're going to St. Petersburg." And he did.
I had one jacket with me, and it was -4.
Because I'd already pre-set up the meetings to do the introduction. What was even better for that supplier was to say that my business partner Mark is going to be there on Monday. Can he see you?
Yeah, so it's chances like that, and it's going to weird and wonderful places where it's difficult. There's obviously no language. There's big language barriers there, and it's getting on a plane, and so cold I could walk across the rivers, like so out of my comfort zone. Yeah. But I think those are the sorts of things that you've got to take chances on.
Yeah, exactly. So 15 years ago, did you envision where you would be today and where you are today, or what was the vision?
To be honest, I think 15 years ago we were so young, and
We had a dream.
Yeah, I think we had a dream.
We had a vision, but
I think when you're young, you don't necessarily think of the negatives. You don't think of, you know, when we started the business, I just got married and had a very young child and just bought a house.
Okay.
So is that an opportune time to resign from a job and start a business? No, it isn't. But I think you're young and you don't necessarily think of consequences at the time. You're a bit more free to do it. Whereas I think if I had to do that now at the age of 40, I would think more than twice, which is
it'd be a
sad
lot
to
more
say,
cautious.
but you're more cautious as you get older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the risk paid off.
Did.
So it was the right time, right opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So, and all success, well, most success stories, look at Apple. They started in a garage. Meta with, what's his name, Mark Zuckerberg, started in their dorm room.
Yeah.
And so forth. So major success stories start in the garage.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings.
overheads are low.
Overheads are low.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. You make do with what you have, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think your business is testament to that where there's a will, where there's passion, there is a way. Let's quickly dive into, obviously the last 15 years hasn't been plain sailing.
Yeah.
It hasn't been
No.
Maanskyn en Rosa all the time. So what was your biggest challenge that you faced or have faced?
Right in the beginning was the Marikana incident.
Do you recall the
That's-
shooting, the American
Yes.
shooting? I think all South Africa does.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That was very tough.
I think because that time we relied heavily on the Rustenburg area, and they overnight shut down for months and months.
Jeez, yeah,
at a
that
time.
was months and months.
So that was tough. Yeah.
After that was the massive industrial strike. That was.
There were two of those.
Yeah, there was a major one.
2016, I think there was one.
Yeah, somewhere around there. That was rough because by that stage we were past plastic bags and buckets and stuff like that, and we were starting to actually supply equipment that was built locally. And then those workshops had to shut down.
Yeah.
Or they were forced to shut down. Obviously the big C, the COVID.
Well, I think everybody's got that one in their pocket as well.
Yeah.
So, but looking at these challenges, what did you do to overcome it? Obviously, COVID was a different animal completely.
Yeah.
But to overcome something like Marikana, the industrial strikes or whatever that was, how did you endure that? How did you sustain the business during those times?
Well, I think I'll touch on COVID quickly. I mean, how we sustained COVID. We didn't go home and have a holiday. We were quite clear with the team that we made sure everybody had an internet connection. Everybody had a laptop with a camera. And every single morning at 9 o'clock, everybody dialed into a meeting. So we used the time constructively. We didn't just, sit back and throw our hands in the air and say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. We used the time to farm, and I say farm as in farming for customers,
Yes.
farming for work, staying in touch with customers, literally buying and selling whatever we could. But I think also if I go just prior to COVID, we had a particular order with a customer that was quite a sizable profit margin for us. And, somebody was looking after us because that order came through, and it just happened to be that they paid us a few weeks before lockdown happened. At a time where I think cash flow was really tough for the business, and that chunk of profits saw us through COVID. It
Definitely did.
literally paid the bills.
We were meant to fly to Russia
Yeah.
the week before lockdown. No, actually the week of,
Yeah.
whenever we shut down.
Yeah, we shut down the
Whatever day.
23rd or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah, I think
March,
it was like a
that.
Thursday or something like that. I think we
Yeah.
were meant to
Yeah.
fly out on the Friday.
Sure.
So I think we endured that by as I say, not sitting back, by being honest with our team and just saying, look, guys, this is what it is. We do have money to pay salaries. We never lost. Everybody got their salary every month. Everybody was paid every month, and I think we just stopped commissions for that time. So the guys did take a little bit of a knock, but everybody was understanding. And, we came through the other end without a single retrenchment.
That's brilliant, and that's such a beautiful story. Do you call it the luck of the draw, or
No.
why do you think that was?
For me, it's not luck. for me, it's the Lord's looking after us. For me,
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. And that's your conviction that carried you through as well, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. Earlier on you were talking about stresses, and maybe we can go into another story about a business that we purchased, or we bought a share in the business.
So sorry, let's get back to you. Make tons of mistakes. This is a massive mistake.
Yeah.
Prior to this, we made huge other mistakes. They happen. Yeah, but
we decided at a point to purchase a manufacturing business, a 60% share in a manufacturing business, and for whatever reason, a lot of reasons, but I won't go into detail. We didn't see eye to eye with the other two directors at the time, and I think for a lot of the time I was bitter about it. Things were said. There's a lot of stress.
It was also a sizable amount of money. That's why the feeling of bitterness, but I mean, it's gone now.
But I think to go back to convictions, the day I chose to forgive, the day I asked for, I don't know how to say it, but wanted myself to release that, to just forgive that, is the day that I think the stress was removed and we could move on and move forward. And
because it was a burden you carried.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the other thing, just going back, just thinking of memories back from like Marikana and the industrial strike and stuff like that, to be adaptable and to not just to be adaptable. I think that's one thing I think we've been really good at doing over the years. I think it also comes with time and experience and stuff like that.
So let's move towards your team. How important is your team to you, to the business, and is it purely a team, or is it almost like family?
I think you know the answer to that. No, it is.
Well, I know, but our viewers do not.
It is a family. I think we've always, again, coming from sort of environments that we used to work in, we always said we never wanted a corporate environment. We always wanted a family environment. I'd like to believe we're all families, and I think we definitely are. We definitely value our staff. But then sometimes you have to shake the tree, and some of the dead leaves have to fall off, for the tree to grow, and that's happened a little bit in the last couple of years. And I think the team we have now is a good bunch of people.
Yeah, they've been with us for. We gave awards out in December. 2, 3, 4 people.
Yeah, 3 long service awards. 10 years plus.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So they've almost been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
Your first hires.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't often have people that leave because they're unhappy, and I think we retain staff, which is good.
So you rightly said that you wanted to start your own business due to a change of environment, a positive environment that you wanted to create, and so forth. So what's your leadership style, both of you?
Sometimes a little soft, I think.
Mark and I are big softies. Honestly, there's been parts in the journey that we've had to really harden up, and it doesn't feel right, but you have to do it.
I think the leadership style is very much again, coming from where we were, we don't micromanage. We've got an office in Rustenburg. We've got a sales guy that operates out the Vaal, but we don't have to pick up the phone. Well, I don't want to pick up the phone and say, how many calls have you made today? Who have you seen today? What have you done today? It's very much a trusting leadership style where we let them do what they need to do, and we just trust them to get it done. I think that's the bottom line.
Okay, which is beautiful. So it gives team members freedom as well, and autonomy, doesn't it, to a certain extent?
Yeah, I mean, in the past we've had some staff that kind of twist and pull that to the max, but others understand it, and I think they enjoy it, and that's where they flourish.
No, we couldn't be bothered if someone's sitting at the pub at 1 o'clock on a Friday. If they've hit their targets for the month, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like a very positive work environment. And I must say, obviously, I frequent the offices as well. And it's always a very friendly atmosphere. It feels like a positive atmosphere at your offices here in Alberton. It's headquarters here in Alberton. So our viewers is a mix of wanting to start a business, currently running a business, facing challenges, looking at pitfalls in starting a business. What word of advice can each of you give somebody who's maybe finding themselves in a challenging situation, like with your Marikana, a COVID situation, maybe somebody else is facing a COVID similar situation, or in cash flow crunch? What would your advice be to those individuals?
How long's the vidcast? Can we go a bit longer?
Well, let's go. Let's see. Until the cards run out, right?
No, I think a lot. I think just to grit your teeth. There's something Neil said to us right at the beginning as well is don't play golf during the day. And if you want a Porsche one day, also want a Porsche. And what he meant by that is you have to graft. You have to give it your all for a long time, and one day when you benefit, then the other directors have to benefit too. But cash flow, I think just watch cash flow as close as possible. But I think at one point in your business, you're going to get to a point where you need to hire people that are more intelligent than you and cleverer than you and better at certain jobs than you are. And that's fine. You don't have to know everything about everything. You just have to know a little bit about everything. So I think the day we hired a proper financial manager was huge, because I was doing it myself. Probably not doing the best job, because it's not really what I enjoy. So, hiring technical guys that will bring in sales. So one day you need to hire people that are better at certain jobs than you.
So that also depends on where you want to take your business. If you want to truly build a sustainable business, then you build a team. If you want to run with everything yourself on your own, well, that's a choice.
I think
right?
if you're going to try to do it all by yourself, you're going to only grow this big. You need those extra people to go big.
Yeah, exactly. And Josh, from your side, what advice can you give to those finding themselves in a situation where we can maybe call it they feel depressed, they're down and out because of challenges in business, because of cash flow? What word of advice can you give them?
Don't take no as a answer. Mark and I've been through that right in the beginning. We went to a certain mine in Steelport and we were told we'd never get a vendor number with that mine. Truth be told, we now deal with the whole global group of that specific mining house. And it was actually really nice to go to that same individual and give the piece of paper, because they had to stamp to show that the stock was in the warehouse, with a massive smile on my face. So that took some time. Definitely don't believe in no, or don't accept no.
So never give up. It's what's that phrase they use in sales? The selling starts with the no. So then that's a goal to reach, right? Like you rightly said. Then you work towards that, and never say never, right? I know one of our discussions, you mentioned a very specific application you did to get a certain certification.
It was to get our Impala vendor number, which turned out to be the most difficult vendor number to get. It was still when we were in the garage. We thought we were the bee's knees. Hey, we're operating a business now. We the shit,
Wow.
And we'd had our Glencore vendor number, we had our Anglo vendor number in the first year.
We'd pretty much had almost all the mining houses in.
Impala was one of those that was a difficult nut to crack. And I think I was traveling somewhere on the day, and the vendor manager phoned me to say, listen, he wants to come do a site audit, because what they do before they give you a vendor number is they come and inspect your premises. And I'm like, I'm still in my garage. Like, phoned Josh in a panic. I said, Josh, pick up the dog shit. the vendor guy's on his way. And, the vendor guy arrived. Josh showed him into the back room behind the garage. There's our stock on the garage floor, that little Dachshund's jumping up, nipping at his heels. We didn't get the vendor number, and I'm not surprised. We were upset at the time, but it's understandable why they didn't, because you were, working out of a garage. But yes, it took us another couple of years after that, and obviously got the vendor number eventually.
Do you think that moment caused a shift, or was a catalyst for something greater, bigger to happen as well?
I think it was, because then we realized we needed an actual working space.
Yeah. Just to be a bit more professional.
Bit more like a shop front looking premises. Yeah.
Well, business does make one humble, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%,
As you've never arrived, have you?
I don't think the journey is a destination necessarily. It's the actual journey. I don't think you ever really reach the destination. You always, there's that saying, do you know anybody who's ever won the rat race? So no. I think the journey of being a business owner is the actual journey, and not, I don't want to actually get there.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy where I am right now.
But it's about a set of short and long-term goals that you need to achieve and accomplish, right? So, and there's no end, is there?
No.
So what's next for MIT?
Americas. Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with America?
Oh, sorry. When I say the Americas, I mean the southern
South America.
South America. Yeah. Because when I said to Mark, there's a mining show in Kazakhstan, we're going to go exhibit. He's like, Kazakhstan? What the? I mean, they're about Borat. And
that's all we knew about Kazakhstan at the time.
I'd just done some reading, and then you do a little bit of research and stuff, and just saw that there was Kazakhstan is so rich in commodities, like the rest of our continent. Well, the whole Eurasian, the whole of Eurasia is rich in commodities, and it was a complete flyer. Just thought, let's go.
I think the timing was good with Kazakhstan as well, because it was around the time of the Ukrainian invasion from Russia. I think the Kazakhstan government at the time, after that happened, it started going, okay, well, we might become sort of a global leader if we act on this now. And
their main focus was oil and gas. That was their main export, if you can call it.
So they're now focusing on minerals, and we thought we'll see what we can do there.
Okay. All right. So there's definitely future plans, future growth, and not more stress, right?
Oh, that'll always come. Stress will always be there.
Yeah.
But I think now it's a different kind of stress. Maybe just to go back and touch briefly on my faith again. I think I've worried so much over the last 15 years that you now sit and you go, well, what was the point of worrying? I'm still here. I'm still looked after. So I think the worry is different, and I'm a lot more chilled now. Yeah.
Okay. So as we are closing up, it's such a beautiful story of starting in your garage, struggling to get certain vendor numbers because of your space, having to take next steps, building a global brand, which you are rightly doing, looking at the Americas now as a future endeavor, your team being a family, part of your family. So it sounds like the dream business, this whole model you've created. So final words to somebody out there who's struggling with their teams, struggling with their business, or wants to go further. What can you tell them?
I'd say just be,
Sorry, I was going to drop the F-bomb there, but I was just going to say, fuck it, just do it.
Yeah, I'd say be real. I think if you say struggling with your team, you need to be real with them. If you're struggling, tell them. If you've got no cash, tell them. And I think the right people will stay, and the wrong people may leave, but that's okay. And I think don't underestimate the importance of happy staff. Without a staff, there's no business, unless you're on your own selling software. You can't get where you want to be without the right staff and the after those when you get them.
Yeah, and I think the guys that work with us, they kind of might not know what's going on in my head, but if you treat them with respect and dignity, they believe in you. I think that goes in, with anything in life.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Mark, Josh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for eventually coming on Unfiltered AF and telling your story. And this is what it's about. Unfiltered AF is it's about authentic founders, and you can't find more authentic than the two of you. Starting MIT because of certain situations you faced in life, and said, well, let's just run with it. Newly married, little one in the house, and say, okay, we're gonna build this business, running it from the garage, and be able to provide and building this dream and becoming a global brand. So I think your story is truly inspirational. And for our viewers out there, if you're finding yourself in a difficult spot with your business right now, or you want to get into business, it's not always easy, as Mark and Josh have rightly highlighted today, but at the end of the day, it is worth your while. Look after your team, build a team, and your team will also look after the business at the end of the day. So if people want more information about MIT, you've got a website and so forth that they can go and visit.
Yep.
Okay.
So if the website's not up and running, you blame him.
Can I point fingers to him? Thank you so much for tuning in once again on another episode of Unfiltered AF. For more inspirational stories like these, like, share, subscribe Unfiltered AF on YouTube and on our other social platforms, and share this with who you think needs to hear a story like Mark and Josh's from MIT. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Unfiltered AF, real ones rise, no mask, no flex. Lights on, mic check is next. This is the truth, Unfiltered AF.